guys. This video is going to be quite a sensitive topic. Um, before, it's really in no order. And I've tried to prepare myself to stay on topic and not get too far off. I'm going to really try to do that because I don't want to have to start the video over again by doing that. The next thing I want to do is I want to make a disclaimer on this video because it is a very sensitive topic. I want to say first of all that this video is it's literally a comparison of what I see and what I have been seeing for a very, very long time online and in personal just life experience. But I do want to say that this video is not meant to shame, hurt, embarrass, call out, uh, draw attention to any one person, group, or anything like that. Um, it is not meant to, as I said, hurt, shame, embarrass, or harass anyone. So that is my disclaimer. If it hits home, if it brings about some type of personal something of somebody that you know or something like that, please be pretty much assured that I don't know that person. And so this is not, and that is not the intent of this video. It's actually really to bring light, um, as I said, to a very sensitive subject. And the sensitive subject is domestic violence. Now, why am I talking about domestic violence? Well, um, I've seen across social media with the interaction between mostly black men and black women, um, it's a pattern. It's a pattern, and it's not a pattern that has started recently or anything like that. I mean, this is literally a pattern that has been going on. That if you come out of it, or when you look at it from a different perspective, which some of you may know who listen and follow me actively, um, that's what my channel is about. My channel is about trying to change the perspective of said topic and get you to not look at it necessarily in such a negative light, but to see that even in a negative situation, there's a bright side to it. And there is always a way that even in the worst situation, you can get out and you can do better. That potential is always there. And so that is why, for the most part on my channel, that's really what I do, is try to change the perspective or get us to look at things in a different way, a different light, and a different outcome ultimately. Um, yeah, so that's that. I do have some notes that I'll be referring to in this, but um, the reason for this video, um, like I said, I see, and when something finally hits me and comes to my spirit, and I know, that's when I put it out. Now the knowing is within myself. The knowing is within my spirit. Uh, so everybody who comes here, especially those who come to attack, are not going to see it the way that I see it. That still don't mean that it's true. And that still don't mean that it's not true. Um, anyway, um, so I want to first get into what exactly is domestic violence, and then I'll explain to you guys why I'm doing this video. So, in a nutshell, domestic violence is a pattern of abusive behavior in any relationship, so it's not just man woman, that is used by one partner to gain or maintain power and control over another intimate partner. So, please know that domestic violence can happen in all kinds of relationships. Um, so, be aware of that. Now, the reason that I'm even doing this video is because what I see with the interaction between black men and black women on social media, I literally see, which is why it was hard for me to even come with this video, because people probably won't see it this way, and they won't. It's going to be very hard to acknowledge. Um, but collectively, I see collectively between black men and black women on social media, I see domestic violence. I see a collective domestic violence situation, relationship between black men and black women, and everybody gets pulled into it. That's the thing. Uh, so anyway, I'm not going to go too far into that, but that literally is the concept of this video. And I have written, I mean, there's so many facets and complications with domestic violence until I can't cover it all in this video. I took about 15 or 16 different um, scenarios and things that I've seen and heard and see online. And I that's really where I'm going to be coming from in this video. I can't paint them all. I can't speak on all of it because, like I say, it's complicated. And man, I just wouldn't even have the time or energy to try to get all of them. But I think I got enough for you guys to understand, and I'm going to try. I don't know at each and every one of these, but I'm going to try to um, show you how I see that playing out online, and hopefully you will see by the end of this video, maybe midway this video, that there is absolutely a lot of truth um to the way that I am presenting this. If you don't, then respectively disagree. We could do that. um so I absolutely see a collective abuse of all black women. um One of the things, I don't think I even have this on here, and I don't want to divert too much, but this is important, and I think I'm going to make it number one. One of the things that I've noticed with black men on social media, and not even just in on social media, just like in the dealings with black women, because of that collective abusive type of mindset, they a lot of times just put every black woman in there. Like, it doesn't, they're not saying, oh well, she is not really like that, like she does this over here and she does what, like all black women are included. And um we know that to be true because many times when black women will say something about black men, they make a calculated point to point out to you that you literally have to say not all black men. You literally have to say that when you're talking about them. But if you pay attention, they always and unapologetically will group black women. They just group us, period. And it's black women. So hopefully that's something that you guys have seen. Um, they treat, as I just said, they treat all black women the same. Now, um, I'm gonna try, like I said, to kind of stay away from so many personal um things because I don't want to go off and derail. One thing I will bring up though, I have never been in a physically abusive domestic violence type situation. Never have, never would put up with that. Like it's yeah, that's not me. That don't make me better than any other woman. That doesn't make me any kind of whatever. I think it comes from a lot of different factors. Um, but it has not happened. Now, emotional abuse, some mental stuff going on because I was dealing with a narcissist. That stuff, yeah, that stuff, yeah. Um, and being an empath and dealing with a narcissist, I would really suggest you guys go and watch some YouTube videos on that because that's a really um, that's a really um common, I'll say, but also different kind of dynamic. Like that's not the word I'm trying to use, but it's a very um I hate when I lose my words. It's they're connected. They connect. They're like they draw each other. Unhealthy, unhealed empaths usually draw narcissists to them, and narcissists feed off of empaths. They get a lot of supply from empaths because an unhealed and broken empath doesn't even really know that that's what they're in, an exchange type of relationship. You're supplying them and they're sucking you dry, literally. um, and so I would suggest you all go and try looking at those type of videos to kind of see that connection and how it plays out. Um, but that is one of the main reasons why I attracted narcissists and didn't even realize it. Like until I got healed, I didn't see it, I just knew it was something wrong that I didn't want to be in, and I would quickly get myself out of it and literally try to get myself out of it. In Narcissists are not always very quick about letting you go until as an empath you gain a certain kind of strength, and then they don't even want to be around you. So that's how that goes. But um yeah. So I explained that because, even though it doesn't matter what people come here and say, because people are going to come and say what they want. Most of the people that come to my channel and videos and um, say the harshest things and say things that they don't even know are ones who don't watch the video. They are ones who actually look at the video title, maybe read the description, and then they just fly off because they're emotional. So that's usually how that go. I don't usually I've gotten a lot better with that to where I'm able to ignore a lot of that or just block and delete them or just literally just ignore it. You know what I'm saying? So because everybody's entitled to their own opinion, you know what I'm saying, but it is what it is. So let's get started. Collectively, as I just said, what I see is a lot of abuse. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So what I was going to bring up, the first one was that I see a lot of black men who try to, like I say, group all black women. Now, this has happened online a couple times. Actually, I would say kind of in like online dating type situations because honestly and truly, as everybody else does, I have a type, and for the most part, I really don't divert uh from that type for various reasons, but just because at the end of the day, it's just my preference. But I have been open enough to um, be open online to dating all. And so I've noticed that when I have given myself at certain times, I have gotten, they come off very, very aggressive. They come off very, very abusive. And they come off, and this is really more than all of that. This is the part that really gets me. They come off as if they know you. They come off as if, well, you ain't special. You just like they all y'all women. That right there is going to be the first thing that's going to make me completely block you, because I'm not like all women. Every single woman may have similarities as a woman, but every single woman is completely different. And I find it very, very abusive, and potentially even more abusive when men just group women. Y'all women this, y'all women that, y'all women whatever. And so in the treatment of me as a black woman, that is what, from just a small interaction that I gave them a chance, that's exactly what I saw. You know what I'm saying? I've even been told that I'm lying. You know what I'm saying? That, oh, you don't do that. You just trying to be different. You trying to be, you trying to act like so, and it's just like, you don't know me. Like, seriously, are you being serious that you're literally telling me my life experiences are a lie? That's also a lot of what I see on my videos. Like, I have literally had people come in my comments and tell me that I'm lying when I'm speaking from my life experiences. How do you even back that up? And I have given many of them the opportunity to point it out. That's what I'll say under the comments. Point it out. Show me where. What was the lie? They never come back. you know. So this is just some emotions going on, and they're triggered and they're mad and they're angry, and so um yeah, that is one of the main things that an abuser will do, is bring you into their world and treat you like everybody else. They literally see you as a potential of, like, there's nothing special about you or different about you that's gonna not make them abuse you. So that actually is a very good key to women who feel like they can change an abusive man. You can't. You really can't. It's up here. So, um, the next thing is that I find that women who are in domestic violence relationships are often ones that stay too long. They are often women who have been in this for years, in that type of relationship for years. A lot of times it's a pattern of meeting the same man, really, but in different bodies, but literally meeting the same exact man. Most of these men treat them the same way. And I really think part of their abuse is a familiarity. It's a familiarity of how they're always treated. And I think subconsciously it's almost an attraction for them. A very, very unhealthy attraction. But I really think that that's what it is. But I think that attraction, that behavior pattern comes from a lot of different things. Some of it is generational. A lot of times you will find that an abused woman's mama was abused, the grandma was abused. Like, it's a line of abuse uh, going on with that, you know. Moving on. They feel, and this is not written any kind of special way, it's not in any type of order. So if I stumble a little bit, it's because of my writing, and I'm trying to get it here. So they feel inferior not good enough, and they often compete with other women. Um, this is something that you also see online. You know what I'm saying? Because we're at the end of the day, we're talking about this collective abuse. Um, a lot of times these women come against other women that they think are pretty or they think got a nice body or just whatever. They'll try to point out the ways in which, oh, well, she wearing a weave, or she ain't really all that, or she ain't da, 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 da. And usually women do that when they've had abusive men make them feel insecure about themselves, you know. So it's almost like a self-preservation or a preservation of some sort to go against other women and compete with other women because they feel inferior. And like I say, most of the time it's because of the man, because they a lot of times they'll know that their man is a hoe, because most abusers are hoes. You know what I'm saying? They sleep with, go with, cheat on the one. Like it's just a normal part of the abuse. Um, but these women know that that man would definitely be with that woman. Like he would definitely smash. And so because they know that she's a threat, um, they walk on eggshells. A lot of these women are very, very calculated in what they say, how they talk. A lot of them will, know that they're in an abusive relationship. They'll know that what he's doing is wrong, what he says, the way he talks to them and treats them is wrong, but yet they still try to not anger him. They still try to talk in a way that's gentle enough that he won't go off when that don't work. I mean, if you feel like slapping the shit out you, he gonna do it anyway. So it really doesn't matter. But I guess some of that is fear. A lot of it is intimidation. But they are very, very careful with how they carry themselves around these men. This is another thing that we see online, and these are the comparisons that I'm going to make. Um, is from what I see in these, I have seen in domestic violence relationships or heard of, and um, what I see online, because that's the comparison. Um, so I see a lot of these women will collectively, like they'll acknowledge that whatever the person, whoever's talking about the men or whatever, is correct, but in their talking about them or in their whatever defense of them, because usually it's a lot of defense of these men. They're very careful with their words. They're very careful. Certain things they'll go so far, but they're not going to go all the way there. Like they're literally held back. Um, they talk of the abuse, but they praise the abuser. Now, um, this is where these women will acknowledge that they're being abused, but and are yeah, they'll acknowledge that they're being abused, but they they will still praise the abuser. Well, you know, well, yeah, well, he do such and such, but he pay all the bills. He does such and such. He abuses me or whatever, but he's a good dad, and he, he may be an abuser. I know I'm in a domestic violence type situation, and some of them really don't know that. They really don't acknowledge that, but they know they're in a very unhealthy relationship. Um, but he give me what I want, or the sex is good, which is called being digmatized. That's what I call it. And that's a very strange. That's almost a whole different. That probably should be a whole nother video. Women who are digmatized. Um, but anyway, yeah. But continue to, well, at least he don't such and such, and at least he don't. At least he never did such and such to me, and you know I've heard this. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna admit I haven't personally known like women who just getting beat up. Like I don't I've never just happens in my life. I just never been friends or real true companion or really know intimately of a woman who's just getting her behind beat. Um Now, the other types of abuse, yeah, I have. I absolutely have seen that. And so I've heard them say, well, yeah, well, he do such and such, but at least he don't do such and such like other men. And at least he don't do such and such, you know? And I'm trying to be a little elusive because, yeah, anyway, I don't want nobody getting triggered and feeling, you know. So they allow him to do whatever they want to do whatever he wants to do with no boundaries. And this a lot of this is once again one of those things where um the man is really pretty much totally free. He almost lives as a single man. But she don't. She got to live like she's in a relationship. She got to live like she's married if she is or not. She has to keep a very short leash on her. Um, Whereas, you can't tell him where to go, when to go. He gets up, he does what he wants, he travels, he goes wherever he wants, whenever he wants. He stays out as long as he wants to, comes home when he wants to. Um, and this, once again, is another thing that you can see online. You can see a lot of freedom that black men have, and but black women are supposed, well, you supposed to be at home. What did Kiki Palmer's boyfriend? Oh, you just had a baby. What you wearing them clothes for? And he's not her husband, but he is controlling what she wears, how she wears it, where she goes, and all this type stuff. But I'm almost certain nobody controls him or tells him what he can wear, where he can go, and things like that. And that's usually that the dynamic that once again is in this type of relationship where the man is literally totally free to do whatever, even though she may not like it. But being in that abusive relationship, what's she gonna do? Like literally, what is she going to do? And he knows the situation is what you gonna do about it. You know what I'm saying? Um He openly and freely, verbally and emotionally abuses her, and usually the result is that she just cries about it. So, um, this is one of the main things that we see online with the dynamic between black women and black men. Black men, as I have even pointed out, say whatever they want about black women online. And what I see about black women is black women never call, they never make a massive call for help. They never like try to massively report these guys. They never, I've often wondered, like literally, I've often wondered, and even back in the day when I started seeing this stuff happen, I always wondered like how is it that black men can say these things and come out and massively attack women, black women, and there's no legislation. Like black women are not calling for legislation. Black women are not collectively trying to let's go sign this petition and get this done and get more protection for women of color and so forth, which by the way is literally out there. But if you don't put it into to if you don't make use of it, ain't nothing gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I see. I see because it amazes me because black women are so highly intelligent. Black women are so upwardly mobile with everything. They can figure everything out like we are very resourceful women when we need to be. But yet, when it comes to black men, I've literally seen, and you have seen, and I have brought from my platform how black men will openly talk about unaliving black women and being horribly abusive. And there are black men who are literally sitting around waiting for a day when cops are no longer going to protect black women so they can massively unalive. Y'all can think I'm crazy. Y'all can think that that ain't no thing. But believe me, I've heard them, I've seen them, I've been over in those spaces where they talk about that. And many of them are waiting for the day. Um, but as I said, I don't see black women pulling their knowledge and their energy together to actually literally do something about this. Like, we don't stand up for ourselves on a massive level. What I see is, like I said before, them protecting the abusers. That's what I see. Oh, well, what did she do? Oh, well, what happened in this situation? Oh, well, I'm going to need more evidence. I'm going to have to read more. I'm going to have to really find out what made him do that to her. Blah, blah, blah. This is what I see. This is what I see. I don't see black women collectively coming together to literally make a real true change in why this happens. And I'm going to tell you the problem with that. The problem, well, the first problem with that is it's going to keep going on. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't going to protect yourself, ain't nobody else going to think about protecting you. It's not literally their responsibility. But what I know is if anybody got online collectively threatening the lives of white women, it would get shut down. If people were online collectively threatening the lives of Asian women, Arab women, it would be shut down. I can't think of a group of women that can freely be talked about to the point of talking about unaliving them and it's going to be okay. Because I've seen these posts and I've read these posts. And when I go read the comments, it's like they just talked about their hair. Or it's like they just talked about they ugly or something. It's just like I don't understand how this isn't a problem. Like, I don't know, and maybe I'm overly emotional. Maybe those women know that the man playing or something. Like, I don't know. I don't take that type of stuff lightly. Maybe I'm overly whatever. I don't know. But when you start talking about unaliving people and it being allowed and it not being a big thing, like if that happened one time with Muslim women or Arab women or white women or whatever, it would be something done, and you're not gonna just keep seeing that. What I see online is I see black man after black man sitting in the shadows, sitting in the dark, sitting with masks on and stuff, talking about unaliving black women. And even when they find him and trace him down with his IP address and all that, and find out information on him, still all I hear is, "Oh, he a clown. Oh, he can't be serious. Oh, somebody married him," and blah blah. And it's just like, but did you hear what he said? Like, what are we going to collectively do about this? And I don't see anything being done. It's like the women, the black women don't take them serious or something. Like, I don't get it, because black women are the number one abused women in America. Black women are the number one most unprotected women in America. The femicide, right? Like, all these things are the stuff that I continue to talk about. And so I don't understand how collectively so many black women just take it like He just said that they didn't like their video. No. These men continually come on here talking about horribly abusing, raping black women and unaliving them. And black women just argue back with him. And it's just like, I seriously, I don't get that. I literally don't get that type of dynamic. It's the type of dynamic when a domestic violence, um, a woman who's being domestic, it was in a domestic violence relationship, will literally get the crap beat out of her, possibly hospitalized, and be like, "Girl, but I just made him mad, and girl, I didn't cook them eggs right. Like, he just tired, and he just been upset. He been so stressed out about such and such, and girl, it's just yeah, it's gonna be all right." That's what I see. That's the equivalent of the response. He don't really mean it. It ain't no real big deal. He just tired. And it's like, but you in the hospital. Um, she is. I kind of talked about that already. That she's threatened by other women. Usually, those are the type of women who don't like other women. And just briefly, just like I said before, this is usually because he has cheated on them so much, verbally abused them so much, knocked down their self esteem so much, on purpose, mind you. This stuff is done on purpose now to break a woman. But it's because she knows of any other woman is a threat. And any other woman is a threat because she knows that he'll cheat on her. She knows. Even if he don't like the woman, even if she ain't his type, he'll still go and cheat on her a lot of times just to F with her. And to get his rocks off and everything, of course. But yeah, he just wants to continually hurt her and abuse her and make her feel like shit. And I don't care how pretty she is. I don't care how good her body is. I'm still gonna cheat with other women and F over you and literally don't care if you find out because I know it's gonna break you mentally and emotionally and all other kinds of ways because you prettier than her. You look better than her, dress better than her, smarter than her, um, and will do anything for me. But I'm still gonna step out because I know what it does to you, and I need you broken. I need you at the bottom of the. I need you to be that way. Um, Talks of leaving, but will never really go. So these women know and acknowledge that they're in an abusive relationship. They will talk about leaving and getting out and knowing that it's best for them not to be there, but they literally never ever go. And that usually is the frustrating part of someone who sees the abuse. Now online, we see this all the time. We see black women talking about divesting, talking about opening up their options for other men and so forth, but at the same time, these women really genuinely deep down, they still really prefer black men. Like they don't want to do that. And that's more so of what I see collectively. I hear of a lot of black women talking about divesting, and opening up their options and things like that. But when it really truly comes down to it, you don't, it's still rare. It's still rare. And I think a lot of black men know that. I think they still see and know that. And I think that's why they really try to intimidate and are really, really angry at real, true, divested women. They are angry because they really, truly did leave and are not going to stand for the abuse and going somewhere else. And they hate that and they're pissed off about that. They're not really concerned about the women who talk about that stuff because they know them women are still there. But the real true divestors, oh yeah, they pissed at them. They pissed at them. Why? Because they didn't stay for the abuse. And they know they're getting treated better. They know that. Um, so yeah, they know they're not gonna go anywhere. Partly is because okay, and partly the next part of that is partly is because the women are scared to leave, especially in a domestic violence type relationship. They're scared. You know, it's new territory. Black women have literally historically had a reputation of being the last women who would go and date outside their race, and black men know that collectively as well. Um, so yeah, and partly it's because they're addicted. They're addicted to the abuse. They're addicted to the way those abusive black men treat them. That's what they're used to. That's what they've always seen. They look at it as love. There's a video that I'm going to put up here in a little bit. I actually made it yesterday, but for some reason, like I just could not get that video loaded. But I'm going to do what I need to do to get that video loaded. Um, but them being addicted to that type of behavior is very, very, it's a real thing. Um, and a lot of times they will try, or if they try to go outside and date another man, and the man is nice to them and sweet to them and kind to them and give them choices and things like that, they look at that as simp behavior. They don't like that because he too nice, he too kind. Like girl, he just a pushover. Like I can't. I don't. I need a man to put me in my place. Like I need a man to tell me such and such, such and such. And when I'm wrong, I need him to say that. Like I ain't trying to talk about it. I just need him to. Yeah, that's that abusive stuff. You can't be with another man or another group of men or type of men who actually really loves, protects, and appreciates women, because they don't treat their women like you're used to being treated. A lot of black women are used to that type of toxic, abusive behavior, and anything outside of that, like they don't want it. I remember speaking to a person in an abusive relationship, and I, really pumped her up. You know what I'm saying? And I really was letting her know, like, you're a good woman. You're a nice looking woman. Like there are so many men that would want to be with you. Um, and telling her of the different types of men that she could, and she sat there and she was very, very quiet, and which I should have known was, you know, that was a sign right there. But she was very, very quiet, and she sat there and just listened, and she let me finish talking. And after I finished talking and saying all that I was saying to her, she literally told me, "Yeah, I guess you're right, but yeah, I don't really like those kind of men. I really I'm more drawn to like bad boys," which literally is the type of abusive man that she's with. And I'm saying to myself, "Wow, that's to me, that's crazy." But everybody got a type, I guess, you know. So anyway, uh this video more than likely is going to go over an hour. I'm gonna try my best, but you know, stick with me. It's gonna be good. Yeah, that's pretty much what I just said. When you tell them about other options and men and things like that, it's pretty much a flat no. So yeah. They literally just want him to treat them right, and they'll forgive. They'll be better. A lot of times in relation in situations with a domestic violence person, people talk to them and they try to tell them, how much they're worth, and how they don't have to stay there and accept that and take that kind of abuse and things like that. And they want ultimately the man to treat them nice and be kind to him and kiss up on him and love him right, and don't embarrass him and don't humiliate him and don't do all these things to them. And after all of that and all of the years, many times, of evidence that he's not going to treat you any better, they still hold out hope, and they still just want him to treat them better. Now, I got so many examples of that, especially online, because once again, that's what we're talking about. The online, you can see this interaction happening all the time with black men and women. So, um, the example that I want to use is, this is back, and I may have brought this out before, but I'm gonna bring it out again. This is back when the woman got hit in the face with a brick, and it was an onslaught. Just, I was watching this particular live. Um, it was a woman's live. And the men, of course, were dragging and, oh, we ain't gonna protect them, and they don't deserve protection. Just doing all that for hours and hours on end. Because this woman has long lives. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so one black man finally, and I had been listening. I had been listening to her live. And one black man came on there toward the end of the program and was like, I'm a black man and I love black women and they were wrong. And, I really think, black men should stand up for black women and they should protect her. And of course, all the men simp, all he pandering, blah, 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 blah. And some of the women, some of them, oh, well, thank you, king, and all, because it don't take much to get called a king. Um, and so this one woman was basically like, yeah, no, too late. We ain't trying to hear that, whatever. Well, there was another woman who was on the panel who was more like, kind of like a moderator. She was kind of like, what do you call it? She was kind of like a main moderator or whatever. And actually, to be honest, I think I'm kind of getting my lives mixed up. I think this particular live I'm talking about was a man's live. I think this was a man's live. But anyway, at the end of the day, um, he came in there talking about black women and being beautiful and how he attracted to them and how he loved them and all this kind of stuff. And, just basically he was the one that like broke the whatever of all these other men saying all that horrible stuff. And that woman was like, yeah, no, we ain't trying to hear all that. Another woman came in, stopped, that moderator woman came in, stopped everything, and was like, nope, 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 we ain't gonna do that. We're not gonna allow you to do that. This brother is coming on here saying he's sorry, and this man is trying to stand up and he trying to blah blah blah, and he wanted to defend. And it's just like, wow, all it takes is one man after all of that hours of abuse. It just take one black man to come and be like, I love my queens and all is forgiven. Like, how does that happen? But that's literally what she was saying. And this other woman was trying to defend herself in her position. And she was literally like, because I guess they knew each other. She was just like, yeah, well, we'll talk offline. We're going to talk about it on offline. And I'm just like, man, how are we so forgiving like that? Like, how? How does that happen? But we see that online all the time. We will see, um, we'll see a video of a black man or whatever being horribly abusive to women, and the long comments of other black men defending that behavior and saying that, yeah, basically F them bees or whatever. One black man will come in there and say, oh, I love my queens, and I don't treat them like that, and they good women and whatever. And you will see about 50 million, thousand, hundred trillion black women. Oh, thank you, queen. Thank you, king. Oh, we love you, king, and we love our black men, and blah blah blah. And it's just like, anyway. So, um, uh, they okay. And hold on, because let me bring up another. No, that's enough of that. They fiercely defend his abuse, even upon others. Um, we see that all the time online. We see that all the time online. Black men accused of doing something to somebody, beating the hell out of a kid. We saw that recently. Um, Unaliving a woman. Doing, I mean, we see black men doing a lot of abusive things online. And so many times in the comments, well, I got to get the other point of view. And, we don't know what caused him to do that. We don't know what made him do that. We don't know what drove him to that thing, you know. And they, like I said, they will fiercely defend that type of behavior. Well, I rarely do I see a lot of black women collectively coming in and being like, well, doesn't matter what he did. Like, he did a wrong thing. He did something that was wrong. Like, it doesn't matter what the other person did. Rarely do you see that. What you often hear, 9 times out of 10, and I'm gonna really say 9.5 times out of 10, is blame of the other person, especially if she's a black woman. What did she do? Did she say something flip? Was she running her mouth? Was she blah blah blah? And you have women, these black women sound just like the black men who are taking up for the black men. Yeah, it's wild to me. Um, they want to know why you're different from any other woman, and they can't abuse you, or you won't take whatever, um and they can't treat you the same way. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a real big one. And other women also will literally be like, well, what make you so special, whatever. I remember seeing a video. This was over in another country, and it was two black Americans, and it was a black African American man with his black African American woman. Like, she was literally his woman. And this man was clearly flirting with another black American tourist woman there at that hotel. And she didn't want to, like, she was ignoring him. She didn't want to talk to him. She was like, dude, get away from me, whatever. Dude got in his feelings, like so many of them do, and started cussing her out, verbally abusing her, threatening her. So much so, and his woman was there. And she started, oh yeah, you be and da 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 da, and I'll whoop you. Da, da. And it's just like, do you first realize that he in your face trying to holler at another woman, and you're not only accepting the behavior, you're trying to fight the other woman for not allowing him to talk to her while you there. Like, the hell? Like, how? It was the craziest thing I've ever seen, because everybody who saw the video was like, what the F is wrong with her? You finna beat another woman, or you threatening another one, because, like, it was a gate that actually was separating them. The woman who he was trying to holler at was inside of a hotel type thing, and they were on the outside. And yeah, it was the craziest thing. Like, how are you not trying to get on his case? And it's because more than likely she was used to his behavior. He had done that so long until, yeah. I had, a personal thing that went on with me with a person. Their person is abusive, and their person, they feel, and a lot of abusive women feel like they man just a shit. Like, he look good, he fine. I guess his sex is good because he make them feel good, even though he got community dick and world dick. But that's how they feel about it. Uh, and in that situation, I was not, and I'm trying to be elusive on purpose, but I wasn't down for that. Don't like they man, don't want they man, like none of this kind of stuff, and have told them that no, they knew that. And the guy, and she literally turned it around on me. Well, what's wrong with it? Well, why you don't? And I had been asked at that time when I knew that person. Um, like literally, what's wrong with you that you don't want him? And I'm just like, do you hear what you're asking me? Like, do you really honestly hear what you're asking me? And I guess they were asking because they just can't believe that that I didn't see them as the shit like they do. Like I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. But it's the craziest thing. Those are two examples for you right there. Moving on. 'Cause we're getting ready. We're hitting the hour mark. They want to, yeah, okay. Usually they don't like your friends or anyone who tries to empower her. And the reason for that is because he needs her to be on the bottom of his shoe. So he don't like friends, family, those other people, programs, organizations, any of that. He'll make her get out of that, and she'll get out of it. That will try to empower her and strengthen her and build her self-esteem. As soon as he finds out about it, he gonna make her get out of it. He will make her cut off friendships. He'll make her cut off friendships. Um, the person that I knew that was in their abusive relationship, um, because I was an empowering presence in their life, they literally, I really truly believe that is the reason why they stopped talking to me a whole lot, is because he didn't like it, and they literally cut me off. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy, but it is what it is, and we see it all the time. We see abused women allow themselves, for various reasons. Some of it is fear, some of it is just all different kinds of reasons, but they will allow themselves to be isolated. I have allowed myself to be isolated in certain situations before I realized what was going on. Um, but they will allow themselves to, they're not talking to their family, they're not talking to friends and people that they've known for a long time, because many times that abusive man don't want the friends and family to know what's going on, of course, and he don't want them getting in her head. He needs her to be isolated, stay over here with just me, and let me occupy all your time, and you do whatever for me, and I don't need nobody else getting in your head, getting in your mind. Now, the correlation online, we see that online because anytime you see, um, either another group of men, group of women, race of man, race of woman, coming to say anything nice and good and uplifting and positive about black women, you see in their feelings black men coming and trying to counteract that behavior. Oh, well, you don't know them, and oh, they do such and such and such, and then they'll get online and bring out all these different crazy ass narratives and things that just aren't true about all black women, which is, like I said from the beginning, is what they do. They like to put all black women in the same boat, um, and be like, well, this is how they are. But when you do that to them or collectively talk about black men, it's that ain't all of us. That ain't all of us. You can't put all us in the same, but all us ain't the same. And blah, blah. And it's just like, it's insanity. It's clearly insanity, but they will absolutely get in the comments of those people who try to uplift and, um, make black women feel better. Say that I don't see that with the black women that I know. I have black women friends. I don't see that. I have black people in my family. I don't see the women doing that, acting that way, behaving that way, whatever. These men will come back and just literally try to, um, counteract everything that those people say positively about black women, and that is an abuse tactic, because like I said, they need black women to be abused, hurt, no self-esteem, and at the bottom of their shoe, so that they can continue the abuse. My last point, They break the woman's self-esteem by threatening to leave to gain submission. Now, this we see this all the time. We saw that collectively with the passport bros. We saw that. We continue to see that. I get black men in my comments all the time. Oh, that's why you alone. Oh, well, that's why you ain't gonna get nobody. Oh, black men don't want you. Cried so many nights about that. But it's it's just amazing. This is what I've seen and heard of in abusive relationships. Um, where the man has left or will go stay with his friends or act like he's leaving or whatever. And the woman that I knew that was in that situation, she had a complete and total mental breakdown. She literally did. And it showed so much to me because what it showed to me was that how really weak and vulnerable she was, how she really did like this man literally truly was her life. And although he's doing all this to her, she didn't want him to go anywhere. Yeah, it was really bad. And I'm gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna, go on into that, but it was really, really, really bad and very, very eye-opening for me personally because I'm thinking to myself, oh, he did? Girl, good. But yeah, no, she wasn't thinking like that. But anyway, yeah, we can see that online where, like I said, the passport bros, or where they talking about going to white women, or they're talking about every other woman in the world is better than a black woman. It's still going on. We still see it. We still see save yourself black men. We still see all of this. You know what I'm saying? And it's a tactic. It's a tactic of abuse because half the time they ass ain't going nowhere. They ain't got no money for no passports. They owe child support and all of this. The credit bad, like they ain't got no money to go nowhere. So they're just talking shit. It's just on a mass level for black women to be like, oh, they want black women to act better. Literally, that's what it is. It's an abuser's tactic to be like, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna go. You're gonna be by yourself. You ain't gonna have nobody because I'm the only one. I'm the only one that wants you. So you better stay with me and keep taking my abuse the way I whoop your ass, the way I do you. You better stay here. You better not go. You ain't gonna never find another man like me. That's popular. That's a big one. You ain't gonna never find another man like me. And it's like, good. That's what I hope. But on a mass level, yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. It really does not work like that. The women, they want the women to stop, submit, and be better and continue letting them abuse them. And a lot of times it works. A lot of times these women they'll stop. Like they'll draw back and they will, they'll continue opening up and giving them a chance and fighting with them. So many women I see online fighting with the passport bros about, well, them women don't want you and why you leaving and blah blah blah. And all of that is code for I really don't want you to go. And it's sad because it's an abused woman's defense. And it's really sad. And like I say, where it should be good, get your ass on, let me help you pack. It ain't. It's not, unfortunately. So yeah, that's it. I'm only a little bit past an hour, but I wanted to bring that out. I really wanted to bring that out. And of course that's not all. So many other tactics, so many other things that we see and have seen with domestic violence and collectively the what I see as domestic violence online. I see a collective of black men putting all black women, trying to put them all in a collective domestic violence relationship. That is the correlation that I see. I see black men um being the abusers and black women literally doing all of the things that domestic violence victims do. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not finna sit here and say all, but what I will say to you guys who are probably going to be triggered. If it don't apply, let it fly. It's as simple as that. You guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please leave me a comment. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit all notifications so that you'll know when I upload new videos. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until the next video, I'll see you next time.